Can someone please tell me how my ex-husband makes over $350,000 a year, yet still felt it necessary to file a lawsuit against me to try and force the sale of my home?
My wild guess is that it's because he also owns the home, but I don't know why you're coming onto social media and asking all of us when you clearly know the details. Plus, that is the normal thing that happens in divorce. You have to divide assets, and that requires you to either sell the home or refinance it under one of your names. That is why I did some digging and I found two more follow-up videos that you posted to your page that clarifies some of the details. Here's the first one.
Can someone please tell me how my ex-husband makes over $350,000 a year? Okay, listen. I think we're confused. That wasn't actually a real question. I'm not confused about the legality of the issue. I'm not confused about the logistical details of the matter.
You seem to have an attitude about this. You don't like the fact that this man is enforcing something that you do need to do according to the law. But hey, maybe I'm jumping in too soon.
I'm very, very, very aware of what my divorce decree says, and I'm also very sure that I am in compliance with my divorce decree. He knows that too. He just doesn't like it. So, this wasn't a real question. It was rhetorical.
Okay, all right, I think I understand more. So the divorce decree is forcing the sale of the home because that is oftentimes what happens. And then you have to take the proceeds, the profits, after the mortgage is paid off, and you have to divide it. So he's sitting there waiting for his proceeds of the house that you're currently living in. And there's probably some sort of loophole in timing. Like you can just drag your feet in selling the home. And it sounds like he has even gotten to the point now where he's waited so long that he has to take legal action to push you along the way towards what you're supposed to be doing.
It's really more of a question of morality. Because here's what I'm confused about. He blows up all over social media like this dad of the year, I'm a good guy image.
Okay, so this man is known on social media. I don't have any idea who this person is that she's talking about, but it sounds like there's some sort of resentment that is lingering there. He apparently has a good public image that she has a problem with. What? Because he's legally forcing you along the path of doing what you need to do. But you're on here questioning his morality because apparently court didn't work for you. They didn't side with you. They sided with what should have been sided with, which was both of you equally getting what you deserve. But you're not satisfied with that, right? You didn't get your way. So now you're questioning his morals, where I think on the flip side, I think maybe your morals could be questioned if you're dragging your feet and selling the home, which is something that you're supposed to be doing. But look, she does explain more. There's this video, and then there's another video to give us some clarity.
I I don't know. I just don't see it. Cuz I have like, you know, paperwork and lawsuits and court dates and receipts that say otherwise.
You don't need to like the man anymore. You don't need to like him. You've divorced him. He can still be an amazing father and he can still absolutely be a good man. Just because he is not that to you does not mean that he isn't that.
But that's a true narcissist for you. Follow me if you want to learn more about what these monsters do to their families. Destroy them while they're still there, leave, and then go absolutely balls to the wall, making sure that they destroy any shred that they might have left behind. Don't believe me? Just find any survivor. They'll tell you. Anyway, give me a like, drop a comment with something that might actually be relevant or helpful, and follow me for more videos just like this one.
So not only is she claiming that this is a morality issue, but now she's actually using the word abuse. She is claiming that he's been abusive with no real evidence. She does end up explaining this in the third video. But before we jump into that one, I can already tell by this second video that she's trying to stand on this higher moral ground as if she's owed more than what she really is. And then not only that, when she doesn't get it, she wants to tear him down publicly. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up exposing his name. She probably, maybe, hopefully knows that she would get into a lot of trouble legally if she does that. Hopefully she's at least smarter than that. But let's see what she says in her third video about the abuse that she has apparently suffered from this man.
This comment right here, it's actually the perfect example of what I've been talking about. Because when someone hears a woman talking about post-separation abuse and their instinct is to blame her, that reaction is exactly why this conversation matters.
Look, lady, just because the man is enforcing his right with the backing of the law to sell your home that you have together doesn't mean that he is abusing you financially post-divorce. He is literally within his rights. And for you so freely to throw that term out and leave it really generalized, that is not cool. Because somebody could listen to this and think the wrong thing about this man, even though you're not naming him. I mean, people can find out who your ex-husband was just by your identity. This video and explanation does continue.
So if you didn't see my last video, I had asked a simple question. How does someone making over $350,000 a year still feel the need to file a lawsuit to force the sale of my home?
How is his income relevant to this situation after the divorce decree has been ordered? Because all of that is determined ahead of time before the decree is set. Once it is set, his income doesn't matter.
The point wasn't legality. It wasn't about court rules. It was about character.
You're the one that is refusing to sell the home. You're dragging your feet. You're not really doing what the law has told you to do. You're just finding a loophole, which is time. You're dragging it out. And that man probably has legal standing to file that lawsuit to prove that you are purposely dragging your feet. That's all he needs to do, is to show that you are purposely doing this, that you could have sold it by now.
I knew exactly what I was doing when I asked that question. I wasn't asking about what someone can do. I was asking what kind of person chooses to do it. Because people forget something really important. You can be legally right and morally bankrupt. And survivors, we unfortunately learn that difference the hard way.
That man does not owe you anything. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. You are no longer in a relationship with that man. And I think that this is a mistaken mindset that all too many women make after divorce. Like, they really think that they can divorce a man and have that man still like want to do things. And when he doesn't do things for them, they claim that he's some sort of bad man. Like, that's just not how the world works, ladies. Like, you wanted equality. This is equality, right? You don't get to require more from a man when you have just as much capability of going out there, getting a job, and earning your own amount of money. And you can't be bitter that he makes so much more than you because of his skill set, his work ethic, whatever it is that drives him to be able to make that amount of money. It is not up to you to determine that he doesn't deserve that and that he actually owes that to you. Again, you cannot have your cake and eat it too.
See, moral bankruptcy doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like someone hiding behind legal paperwork, using systems meant to protect people to keep hurting them. It looks like smiling for social media when someone else is drowning behind the scenes. It looks like winning the argument while losing your humanity. And the hardest part, from the outside, people just don't see it. They just see someone who looks successful, confident, put together. But the person living it, they feel the weight of every single decision made without empathy. And when you're on the receiving end of that, it messes with your reality because you start questioning yourself. You start wondering if maybe you are the problem. Even when your nervous system is screaming that something isn't right, you still wonder. That's why this conversation matters, because abuse doesn't always look like what people expect. And sometimes the most damaging part happens after the relationship ends. So if you haven't watched the original video yet, go watch it and then come back here and tell me, what's something that a morally bankrupt person in your life has done that made you realize that character matters more than legality?
If you guys have made it through to this point, I give you credit because I could barely tolerate listening to the end of that third video. And I think that the only thing that I can say is that if you're a woman in the situation, and to this woman in particular, if she ever got this message, it would be that you have to take ownership of your life now. And you need to go out, you need to get a job, you need to sell that house, you need to save as much money as you can, and, try to get maybe a cheap apartment, and you need to focus on building up your life and stop blaming that man. Because if you go down the path of just focusing on blaming that man and tearing him down in order to make yourself feel better, you're never going to get there. You are going to continue to live in bitterness and hate, and you're not going to move forward. You're not going to heal. So the best thing that you can do for that man and for yourself is to go get that job, get yourself some financial stability, and just move on. Don't pay attention to how much he's making or how much success he's having. If anything, if you get to the point where you can tolerate seeing it without being extremely bitter, actually maybe be grateful for the father of your kids having that financial stability, because that's only going to benefit your kids. What you shouldn't expect is for it to benefit you. That's it, guys. As always, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Friday.